Hello, welcome back to LK Tuition. My name's Lucas and today we're going to look at sharing into a ratio. Hope you're well and let's get started. Alright, so this is what we want to do to share in a ratio. So the first thing you do, whatever your ratio is, add up the numbers in the ratio and that will give you the total number of parts. Then once you know the total number of parts, whatever you want to share, divide that by the number of parts and then you'll know what each part is worth. Then you can look at each part of the ratio again, multiply that by that one part value, and then you'll get what each part of the ratio should be. And then you can do a quick check at the end by adding up your answers and seeing if you end up back with the total. This is a lot easier to show in an example than to explain, so we'll get straight to it. Okay, so if you already feel like you've done ratio stuff before, feel free to pause and have a pop yourself. Otherwise, we'll do them together. Okay, so number one, we want to share 50 in the ratio 3 to 7. So the first step is add up the numbers in the ratio. So 3 plus 7 is 10. So that means altogether we've got 10 parts. Yeah, so we've got 3 parts to 7 parts, 10 parts altogether. Then if we want to share 50 into these parts, let's find out how much one part is worth. So we just do 50 divided by 10, which is 5. Then, now we know that each part is 5, we can times it by both bits of the ratio. So the first bit is 3, so we want 3 lots of 5, which is 15, so we'll write that as £15. And then the second part is 7, so 7 lots of 5 is 35, so we'll put that as £35. And then what you can do is you can just double check by adding these up. 15 plus 35 is 50, which is exactly what we started with. So that's our little check that we've done there. Alright, next one, we want to share 30 sweets in the ratio 5 to 1. So again, let's just add up the numbers in the ratio. So 5 plus 1 is 6. Then we know that we want to divide by 6, so we do 30 divided by 6, which gives us 5. So each part is 5. So the first bit is going to be 5 times 1. It's going to be 5 times 5. So we've got 5 parts and each part is worth 5. So 5 times 5 is 25 sweets. And 5 times 1 is 5 sweets. And then you can double check by doing 25 plus 5 is 30, which is what we started with. Alright then, the last one, we want to share 48 stamps in the ratio 4 to 5 to 7. Alright, so even though we've got 3 in the ratio, we still want to add them all up. So 4 plus 5 plus 7. 4 plus 5 is 9, 9 plus 7 is 16. So then we want to divide 48 by 16, which is 3. So then we want to times everything in the ratio by 3. So we want to do 4 times 3, which is 12, 5 times 3, which is 15, and 7 times 3, which is 21. And this is all stamps, isn't it? So 12 stamps, 15 stamps, and 21 stamps. Okay, and you can double check by adding everything in the ratio. 12 plus 15 is 27, and 27 plus 21 is 48, so happy days. Alright, a worded example. Again, feel free to pause the video, and I decided to choose this picture just because this guy looks like the most miserable concrete mixer I've ever seen. Alright, so Brian is making concrete. He doesn't seem happy about it, but he is. Concrete is made by mixing cement, sand and gravel in the ratio 1 to 3. How much of each component does Brian need to make 300 kilograms of concrete? Okay, so we do the same system that we've been doing. We add up everything in the ratio. So 1, if it'll let me, 1 plus 2 plus 3 is 6. And then we want to do 300 divided by 6, which will give us 50. And then we want to times everything in the ratio by 50. So 1 times 50 is 50. So we want 50 kilos of cement. Then we've got 2 times 50, which is 100 kilos of sand. And then finally, 3 times 50 is 150 kilos of gravel. And that is our answer. Okay, and again, you can add them up to double check. So 50 plus 100 is 150. And then add another 150, and we're back to the 300 we started with. Okay, next one. Rasheen is making cookies. She mixes flour, butter and sugar in the ratio 6:1. If she uses 160 grams of butter, how much flour and sugar should she use? Okay, so this is a little bit different. Now, so this is telling us that 160 grams is the butter. Now, butter, let me grab a highlighter. Butter is this number 4 one here. Yeah, so if 160 grams is 4 parts, we can find 1 part by dividing it by 4. So if we just do 160 divided by 4, that gives us, well, 16 divided by 4 is 4, so 160 divided by 4 is 40. Okay, so 1 part is 40 grams. So now we can times that up by the other bits of the ratio to find out the flour and the sugar. So 40 times, well, the flour was 6 in our ratio, so 40 times 6 is 240 grams of flour. And sugar was just 1, so sugar is just 40 grams. Okay, so slightly different. So if you're given 1 part of the ratio and you know what that value is, divide it by however many parts that was, and that will give you your 1 part that you need. And then you can just times that up again like we've done before. Alright, and finally then, Keith is going to make some orange paint. He needs to mix red paint, yellow paint and white paint in the ratio 5:1. Keith has 400 millilitres of red paint, 300 millilitres of yellow paint and 200 millilitres of white paint. Does he have enough of each colour to make 750 millilitres of orange paint? Okay, so let's just go through the system again. So 5, 4 and 1, so we add them all up. So 5 plus 4 plus 1 will give us 10. Then we want to make 750 mils, so 750 divided by 10 is 75. And now we want to times this by each part of the ratio. So this is what we need. So 75 times 5 is going to give us 150, 300. That should be 375 millilitres of red. So we need that many, and we've got 400, so we definitely have enough for that. So let's give that a tick. Then we want to do 75 times 4, and that will give us 300. We need 300 mils of yellow. And how much have we got? Well, we have got 300 mils of yellow, so that's also good. And finally, we want just 1 part for the white. So this is just 75 times 1, which is 75 mils. And yeah, he's got 200, so he's definitely got enough white. So we have enough of each colour to make the paint. Alright, so I hope you found that useful. This has been LK Tuition. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you soon for some more maths videos.